Hello, good morning, happy Friday. I hope that you're doing really well. I'm excited to be with you here today. I'm Deborah, this is Purusha Intuitive, and we're looking at the collective energy for today. So welcome in. I hope that your holiday season is moving well, right? I hope you're having fun, having a good time. And then for all the places that we're feeling stuck, challenged, maybe not really loving what's going on, we're going to take a moment to clear out the energy. Definitely grab a smudge stick if you have one on hand or want to participate. Ooh, fire. You can also, receive what I'm blessing you with or skip ahead. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure love and grace. I release all that doesn't serve us for the highest good. Releasing and letting go of what we do not need, the fear, the anxiety, worst case scenario, the control. Knowing that Spirit has our back. That's what I hear this morning. And this has been a theme for the message, or the messages lately, is that we really have to have faith in the process of where our life is headed. When we put different goals, aspirations, ways of living into our future, it takes time for them to manifest, right? We talk a lot here about energy. Ooh, receive. Okay, so there is something that you need to be open to receiving. You know, there's a lot shifting, right? Energetically, astrologically, and I feel like we're in this time of transformation. 2024 is a regrounding year. It's a rebalancing year. It's going to help us lock into what we're trying to achieve a little bit more easier than this year, thank goodness. So we have to stay the path. We have to stay the course. We also have to be open to receive. So Mercury's still in retrograde through the end of the year. It goes direct right in the beginning. And what this lesson or learning is often about is overcoming the challenges, the blocks that we put in our own way, whether they come from within us or externally. Right now, so today's Friday, happy Friday, day of Venus. It's a great day to love, beautify ourselves, our environment, those around us. It's important that we reflect on what we are working to bring into this world, our goals, our aspirations, and having a little bit of a game plan on how to get there. We talked a lot about this yesterday of just like, it's one thing to have the general ideas floating around in your mind. It's another thing to put them down on paper, see those goals in front of you, do 15, 20 minutes a day towards that goal, right? Putting energy, research, connecting, networking, whatever you have to do in order to make it come alive. This isn't really an action-oriented time just because we have 3 planets in retrograde right now. Mercury, Jupiter, Saturn, or Uranus. And it's actually helping us get over whatever obstacles are in front of us. Retrogrades naturally show us what isn't working, right? So that helping hand comes through the different situations and areas that are popping up that do actually feel a little bit challenging. It's stuff that's in our environment already. This is a lot of past stuff, past people, places, and things, situations we're trying to leave behind from this past year. And the work component to it is a little like not fun. Like we're not really pumped about it, right? Like it's like being a child, on Christmas morning, you want that gift now, right? So I feel like there is this element of, here's the thing, it's like if we do the work, we get honored. If we don't, if we're just trying to push our agenda, forge ahead, etc., then that's going to be what throws us off. That's going to actually be what makes things more confusing. If we're too, anxious, like too, like I said, jumping the gun, right? Like we wanted to have that happen yesterday. So if we're feeling that energy a lot, there is a lot of emotion too around what is changing, around some of the heavier things maybe that we weren't expecting that would change or transition this year. We see that with the moon in opposition to Pluto and Jupiter square to Pluto. We talked about how Pluto is going to be entering in Aquarius in the beginning of the year. So that's going to bring about a new element. Pluto is in Capricorn right now, has been for quite some time. Capricorn is about doing the work. It's about making things happen in order to, let your light shine, so to speak. It's about career, ambition, the way we show up in our communities, how people see us, etc. There is a call to become more in alignment with that. And Pluto gives us the opportunity to change the things that aren't working, like I said, right? So it is the time to illuminate, especially today. We've been getting a lot of reflective energy, reflecting on the past, where you've come from, what you've overcome. That process helps illuminate our way forward. It gives us more clarity because when we're able to acknowledge and recognize, it's easier to release. But if we keep pretending it's not there or we don't want to look at it, it stays around for a long time. So you do need to commit to this path, right? There is something here for you. This is full moon manifestation. We're just coming off of a full moon in Cancer. And full moons are a time when we see what's working and what's not, when we see what manifestations come in and what is not, what we have to kind of readjust and replan for. This is talking about making that commitment. I feel like it's giving us a better foundation to start the beginning of the year with. So you do need to take a little bit of time today going within. Some introspection. Yeah, is that ponder? I love it. Thank you, Spirit. Confirmation. Going within, introspection, right? Pondering like what it is that you actually want. What is going to make you feel happy and fulfilled? And writing those goals down, I like personally writing the goals, the to-do list, etc., because it's a good measure. It's easy to want things and then 6 months down the road be like, oh yeah, wasn't I doing that? And I totally forgot about it. So this is that value, writing it down is that value of really allowing it to come to life. And I hear that some things need to be thought through a little bit more intentionally. There's something that I feel like you haven't seen yet with this Illuminate card. And so, like I said, spend some intentional time today really kind of thinking through what makes you feel beautiful, what makes you feel fabulous, what makes you passionate. What are those things? And then going back towards your goals and saying, how does this fit? How can I make this come to life? What do I need to do in order to bring this in? It is about our happiness and our fulfillment. Because I feel like as soon as the new year begins, there is going to be the work component to it, right? So when I'm talking about the work component, I'm just saying more the due diligence, making the calls, making the connections, doing a budget plan, looking for a new job, putting yourself out there if you're looking for relationship, partnership, and you're gonna have to immerse yourself into this vision. So I feel like that's what you're preparing for right now, especially over these past couple days, as we are really reflecting, releasing, letting go the past. Yeah, I think some of this stuff is hard to look at with that Venus square to Saturn. It makes us feel a certain kind of way. I don't know. I don't know if it's like the human psyche or what. I'm obviously not a psychologist. But it's making the changes in a controlled and I want to say intentional, but confident way, controlled and confident way. I love this Wheel of Fortune card because it is so powerful, using those elements to work for us, etc. So I think, like I was saying earlier, I think we all have this tendency, like, this is where I want to be and that's the end goal. We forget that life is a constant evolution. So I feel like, especially over these past couple years, Spirit has really been calling us to change it up. You know, when we find ourselves in situations surrounded by people that aren't fitting our vibration, or it's not really how we want to be in life, we really need to be making those changes and adjustments. And these are things that, like, our heart is passionate about. Queen of Swords energy comes up, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. She's really awesome at being very decisive, you know, weighing out the pros and cons. And she's not afraid to cut out something that she really does love if it's not the best for her. It's not an easy process, but she's able to see through people's BS, right? She's able to see things very clearly around situations and therefore making the best judgment. Six of Cups energy. This has been coming up a lot lately. It makes a lot of sense with Mercury in retrograde. We're dealing with things from the past, people from the past, situations that we do have to kind of see a little bit more rationally. This can be with your family. This can also be people who are really close to you, or even like a job you've been at for a long time. This has the energy of needing to, I don't know, I feel like we all have certain rules, regulations that we put on ourselves, societal expectations, whatever it might be, right, of how things should look. I think there's a lot shifting nowadays for sure with technology, etc. But we got to make sure that we're not getting trapped into a belief system that really isn't serving us. And this energy has a little bit of that surrounding it, especially with this Knight of Cups here. You might be having a love offer come in. Gemini, Libra, or it's Gemini. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio energy. It's water energy. Someone who is really loving, really nurturing. Maybe you have a connection, chemistry, etc. with waiting it out, seeing what's in front of them. And I do feel like this is also for the other message within this is, like, don't wait it out, right? Like, don't spend too long staying stuck. I feel like this is a lot about tapping into your happiness today. So figuring out the things that make you feel happy, that make you feel fulfilled. That's the beauty of Venus energy, because anytime we put intention into self-love, self-care, it really helps us see ourselves a little bit more clearly, and what we want, what we desire, how we can bring that into the world. So I do hear, like, again, there's importance in recognizing what these things are for you, putting some practical instructions down on paper, but also not waiting too long. Yeah, like, you have the power in your hands already with this Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune came up for us the last couple of days. We have to just, this is that component of manifestation. Ask, believe, receive, right? And there's still, what I'm hearing, there still is some disconnect about the belief behind things. Making plans of action. The thing about the Knight of Cups energy is he's great, he's a lover, he is passionate, says all the right things, but sometimes his follow through is severely lacking. You know, it's more like these pie in the sky type ideals that he struggles to follow through on because he's just not mature enough yet. He's not there yet. You know, and that's where Spirit is really saying, like, don't limit yourself in this energy of emotion, of feeling. Easier said than done because the full moon was in Cancer, and we have to be really conscious of like where our feelings, you know, where we put our feelings and our energy, how much time we're giving ourselves to mourn, to grieve, to feel the feels. I'm all about feeling your feelings. Hopefully you know that by now. I think at the same time, being a very emotional person myself, I've learned that you can't like let those overtake. You can't get sucked into those, you know, because it ends up being detrimental. It becomes a self-sabotage. It ends up triggering our woundings and putting us back into those karmic cycles that we don't really want to be a part of. I feel like there is some resistance in your outside environment. What you need to be careful of is this energy of people trying to change the situation, people around you, people being jealous of you. I hear as well for some of you, watching you, that careful eye, seeing what you're up to, what you're doing, especially if they don't have direct contact with you. I feel like there's some people who are trying to figure out, right, like how to get back into your good graces or re-enter back into your life. And some people are just like blatantly spying to be haters. And here's the thing, I think even though we don't have to necessarily be engaging with a person or situation, if we have stronger energetic connections, energetic cords to those things, it's going to be way easier to pick up that energy of whatever's going on. Five of Pentacles has been popping up. People don't like it that they're getting left out. They left you out and now they're sad that you're leaving them out is what I'm hearing for you. Yeah, so Five of Pentacles, Five of Wands, conflict around this energy. People are watching from the sidelines what you're building, what you're growing, because you don't need them anymore, right? You're building your own things, and I feel like, I don't know, there's always a reason why things happen when they do, right? It is this opportunity for us to consistently grow and evolve. And this is really talking about how you got to just stay focused and on your path, really immerse yourself in the vision that you're creating, especially when we're dealing with people, places, and things that maybe didn't honor that, maybe didn't respect that for us, didn't give us an opportunity or chance to prove ourselves, etc. And now you're doing it. And now that they're seeing it, there's this element of like, whoa, I didn't expect this, you know? Don't let them change your mind. Don't let them change your opinion is what I'm hearing. Really stand strong. I love this mushroom card because it really plays on that concept of how mushrooms can be really toxic and dangerous, but they can also be incredibly medicinal and healing. They're very powerful, you know, and huge benefits. I mean, definitely check it out. There's, you know, lion's mane is really good for our memory to, you know, kind of exactly what we're talking about, to kind of cut away the brain fog, that foggy energy. There's so many products on the market nowadays that, you know, add mushrooms. What is that? I don't know. I'm not even going to try because I like to make my own stuff. Always make sure it's clean, right? anything that you ingest, anything that you take in, making sure it doesn't have too much additives, too much BS. Why I'm saying this is because it's like the toxicity, it helps us grow, it helps us evolve. Sometimes we need to get stronger in a certain area, and that is what like some of this past stuff has served. But we got to make sure that we don't let it overtake us, overconsume us, allow us to go to these coping mechanisms, codependency, substance, the things that kind of allow us to avoid the hurt and the pain, because again, that's just going to loop us back into that cycle. And there's a call to move forward. You know, we're almost at the end of the year. What is it? It's the 29th, I think, right? So it's like, just keep moving forward, right? Maybe you had a fight. Maybe, you know, you can just feel these people's energy. You're checking out their social media account. They pop into your mind and you're not even trying to think about them. You know, there's a lot of energetic exchange right now, especially with Neptune and Saturn being in Pisces. The things, the areas that we have to work really hard in are going to make us feel a certain kind of way. Because in some ways, there is this death to a dream. And not to be Debbie Downer by saying this, but literally it's this value of we have to let go of the things that are close to us that just have not been working, right? The things that like, I don't know, they feel a little bit more precious, whether it's a relationship or a friend, something that's just like not serving your purpose anymore or hasn't been for quite some time. And being able to own up to that, the flying fish, it connects us back to being a little bit more lighthearted when we are in these times in life, right? So we can't dictate the cycles, the evolution of life. We all go through them. These readings are designed to help see between the lines, right? Something that we might not be picking up around the situation. And I feel like a lot of this energy, and this has been a theme lately, is that it's coming from around us, you know, or we're giving people too much credit, right? Like, this person said we couldn't do this thing, so now we believe that, instead of believing within ourselves. There's been a lot of heavy energy, especially when we're waking up in the morning, in our dream state, etc., where I feel, you know, sometimes I feel like when we disconnect from the physical, when we go into that dream state, we're way more porous. We can easily pick up people, places, and things and their energy. So there's definitely been this element of regret, and I feel like regret is coming from both sides, is what I'm hearing. It's not just you, it's also them. But is there a solution forward? And those are the things that are kind of hanging in the balance. During Mercury retrograde, sometimes we can figure things out. Sometimes we find a way to communicate and move forward. We can find more harmonious ground. Other times it really is about nipping it in the bud, you know, just straight up recognizing, you know, this is not good for my heart, my mind, and my soul. We're just fighting with this desire to like make it happen yesterday. And that becomes the rub because, you know, we're emotional around things. Pluto is in opposition to the moon. So it's making us feel a lot of the feelings around what is leaving us behind. You have the power, you have the strength. Spirit is almost saying, like, put that shit on the back burner. You know, you don't have to concern yourself with it, especially if it's not in your wheelhouse for where you're going. If it's not in the plans to move forward, sometimes it is best to just leave it on the side. Yes, Mercury retrograde gives us the opportunity to have conversations and communications, etc. But I don't think it's the only time in life we can have those. You know, just remember, as we're seeing, if we wait too long, it actually kind of becomes counterintuitive for what we're trying to birth into being. So be, vigilant. You don't have to be a crazy person. You don't have to like work yourself to the bone today. Actually, it's not a good day to do that. It's a better day to invest in your self-love, your self-care, and really what this vision is. Get excited about it. Like I said, write it down, sit and meditate on it, fantasize how it's going to look, how it's going to feel, what is your life going to be like when you have that thing in play. That is the energy Spirit wants you to focus on. The past is the past. If resolve happens, that's amazing. It doesn't always happen. People don't always have the courage to own their shit or have an honest conversation as adults, unfortunately. But that's okay. You don't have to control them. You just got to control you. All right. I hope this message helps. Thank you so much for your time and energy. I'm sending all the love and all the blessings. Have a fabulous Friday.